Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about what is new in this update because as you guys know, it was a massive update. It was actually like 4 gigabytes, and on top of that we did get the new story as well as a bunch of new system changes. But before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to get out of the way is, of course, the keyword. Today's keyword is Slayer_soon_TM. Super simple, everything is in lowercase, alright? Once you type that, you're simply going to press escape, go to systems, go to get campaign items, and right here, receive item account, you'll notice David plays NGS, you'll get 50 star gems as well as 7 rad gold memories, so make sure to pick that up. Now, while we're on the topic of keywords, make sure that you come to the official website, so that is the PSO2.com website, and go to newsletter over here and subscribe to their newsletter. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to subscribe to their newsletter is because they actually sent you a code to your email where they give you 3 NEXP earn plus 25% as well as 3 N rare drop rate plus 25%. The EXP one's not that big of a deal, however the rare drop rate plus 25% for 1 hour, 3 of these, this is actually worth quite a bit. So it is free. All you need to do is sign up with your email address and they will send you an email with a code. Now when you get this code, you need to go to systems over here and item codes over here, and this is where you input the code in order to redeem the rewards. It'll automatically go into your inventory under OP team storage over here. After I put in the code, the items appear here. Now unfortunately the code is a one-time use, so I can't just give you my code because my code has been used already to redeem these rewards. So if you try to input my code, it just doesn't work. So you do need to sign up for the newsletter as each code is unique and is a one-time use. All right, with the codes out of the way, the next thing you may have noticed is, Kara, why is your battle power so high at 3,443? And this is because our weapon potentials can actually be upgraded to level 5 now, so it gives us 34% potency on your weapon. So make sure to visit the item lab over here and go to unlock potential, and over here you will be able to unlock your level 5 potential on your 8-star rarity weapons. Now do keep in mind it does eat, I think, 5 NEX cubes, however it's not that big of a deal. Most people should have a lot of NEX cubes by now. The next thing I want to talk about are your dailies and weeklies. They have implemented the change with your dailies as well as your weeklies. You may have noticed that your weeklies don't give as much money anymore. When you go to complete it, you can see there's not that many weeklies anymore because they just combine them all. For example, enemy suppression over here, it only gives you 50,000 Meseta for defeating 1,000 enemies. However, the reason why they did this is because they've changed your dailies. As you can see over here, complete daily tasks. Every day when you complete 4 of the daily tasks, you get rewarded 130,000 Meseta. So you essentially want to make sure that you do your dailies every single day because this is going to be your main source of income now versus your weeklies that don't give as much. They still give a decent amount of 50,000, but it's nowhere close to the dailies of 130,000 every single day. And don't forget, this is just one task. You've got all these other tasks over here which don't give you much, to be honest. You know, it's only 1,000 Meseta, but it does give a lot of EXP. The main one that you're going to be gunning for is going to be complete daily tasks, so complete 4 of them every single day. The next thing I want to talk about is the Arks record badges. If you go over to the item shop over here and go to Arks record badge exchange, you may have noticed there are new CV weapons. There's the Griaga Almaty CV, the Codex CV, as well as the Christia Almaty CV. Now the reason why you might want to use these weapon camos is because of the color. Remember, these colors over here actually affect the after effects of your Photon arts. So you can see over here when I attack with a Photon art, the natural color is blue. This is the default color. This is what all the different weapon camos, they're all going to give you that blue after effect. However, if you equip a weapon camo that is a color variant, it changes the color of the afterglow. So you can see I'm changing it to the Griaga Almaty CV, and you can see now it is a green afterglow versus the regular blue because the color variant of the Griaga Almaty is green. So you can use this to your advantage in order to get the perfect looking Photon art that you want. Maybe you want a red one like this. This looks very stylish. This is actually the Kukurosiak color variant, which is red, and then I've got the Evo Eclipse one, which is a black colored one, so we can equip that, and you can see over here now it's like ink. It's a black, very stylish looking thing. So yeah, just keep in mind that all the different color variant weapons will change the different after effects of your Photon arts in case that is something that you care about. Now, while we're on the topic of the item trade shop, I also want to point out that in the item exchange Stia shop over here, you can actually use 1 Infernium to exchange for 2 class EX cubes. So if you do have a lot of Infernium, because we don't need our Cocoons weapons anymore, they're outdated, we've got better Astron weapons now, so you can actually use your Infernium to pick up these class EX cubes if you're super lazy. However, something to keep in mind is you can actually get the Slayer EX cubes already. So you can see over here, I can exchange my 270 Infernium for like 600 Slayer EX cubes if I wanted to. However, keep in mind there is a limit of 10 every single week, so you can't actually get 600. At the most, you get 20 class EX cubes every single week, but it is something that you can look at if you are very lazy and you just don't like leveling up a specific class, or you don't have any yellow triggers, or maybe you just really want the Slayer EX cubes now, which I don't really know why you would need them, because when we come to the class counter admin over here and you go to add-on skills and you go generate add-on skills, unfortunately the Slayer add-on skills have not been added in yet, so yeah, tough luck there. We can't do any add-on skills for the Slayer yet. Another thing that has not been added in is the learn class skill. You can see that the Slayer is not here yet either. However, the Slayer Photon arts as well as their scaling is available in-game right now. If you go to personal over here, character information and Photon art information, you can see right here Gunblade Photon arts. Here are all of the different Gunblade Photon arts. You can already read what the Photon art does as well as its potency and how much photon power it will actually cost. A specific skill, Flowing Cyrus over here, is absolutely busted, by the way. 1080% potency. This is really insane, considering, like, you look at Braver. Braver is a very strong class already. However, even Lotus Lightning is only 400 potency versus this whopping 1080 potency at 25 PP cost. You know, we've got some skills that cost quite a lot of PP. 20 PP over here for Iris Scale. This is freaking 25, and it gives you 1080 potency. So when the Slayer class comes out, I'm going to be testing the crap out of Flowing Cyrus to see what on earth this actually looks like. Technically, you can just check the YouTubes, by the way. I will leave the link in the description below. They've already uploaded a video which kind of shows off all the different Photon arts of the Slayer. So you can just check out that video. It shows you what all of these PAs look like. But yeah, this is freaking busted. There's so much potency. Now, while we're on the topic of Slayer, we also have the Slayer Operation Preparation Ticket Exchange Shop. So you can click over here and you can actually pick up all of these nice looking weapon camos as well as different gun blades if you choose to do so. Now, something to keep note of is these 2 weapon camos up here do have color variants. Even though the first weapon camo doesn't have CV at the end, it does indicate that there's a color variant. So when you do Photon art, you will get that black and gray special effect if you decide to use the Talon over here. Now, if you use the Relic CV over here, you'll have an orange after effect. However, if you use the other weapon camos down here, such as the Trunkle series, the Tenebro, as well as the Christia, these do not have color variants, so it's just going to be blue. It's just going to have the standard effect. Now, another thing they changed is, of course, in the Aegis Integra exchange. When you scroll to the very bottom, you can actually exchange 10 Aegis Integras every single week. However, more importantly, you can actually get your Neo A Gunblade already from this shop, so you don't need to farm Darkfalls and hope that you get a Neo A Gunblade. I got extremely lucky. I posted on Twitter. A lot of people were like, what the heck, Carol, this is rigged. But you can now get a Neo A Gunblade from the exchange shop. All you need to do is exchange it with 5 Aegis Integras, and boom, you've got your endgame Gunblade ready to go. Of course, you need to augment it, unlock its potential, as well as enhance it all the way to max level, but at least you'll have an endgame weapon right off the bat ready to go. However, it doesn't end there. There's a lot of system changes as well. When we go to options over here, they've added auto switch lock on target. By default, it's disabled. However, you can enable it if you want. I personally tried it yesterday with it enabled. I didn't really like it. So the way that I thought auto switch lock on would work would be when you break a weak point, it will select the next weak point. However, it doesn't actually do that. What it does is the moment you kill an enemy, it will lock onto the next enemy's weak spot immediately. So for me personally, I find this really jarring because sometimes I don't want to target that specific target because it will like literally flip you 180 degrees to target another guy, even though there's like enemies closer to you. So I don't really like how it works. So I have it disabled. However, if you do like it, just, you know, so that you can just go full brain dead mode and just hold down simplified movement or something in a PSE burst, then you can have this turned on. That way you don't even need to keep pressing Q or the lock on button and you can just hold down your simplified movement, easy peasy. However, this is not the main thing that I want to talk about. The main thing I want to talk about is how do you make the crits look like orange? And that is actually an interface over here, and it's the very last option right here, critical damage highlight display. So there's actually 3 options. There's highlight 2, highlight 1, as well as disable. Disable is exactly the same as what we originally had before this update, so nothing changes. When you have it on highlight 1, the number is significantly bigger when you crit. However, the one that I like to use is highlight 2. The number is really big, and on top of that, it turns orange for a second, so you know that you hit a critical strike. So personally, I like highlight 2, and I've actually noticed that I crit a lot. Like, you know, every 4th attack pretty much, I hit a crit, which is really cool to see, because now I actually know when I'm critting and when I'm not, which is really nice. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is the mag jukebox over here. When you click on music settings over here, you can click play over here to play your own music, and when there's an urgent quest that's actually happening or about to happen, you know that regular default urgent quest music, it doesn't override your music over here, so you can continue to listen to whatever you want, which is very nice, especially if you want to listen to some Sonic songs or Burning Hearts. There's a lot of really nice music CDs out there. However, if you want to take it one step further, you can go to create playlist, and you can actually create a playlist of songs that you want to listen to instead of manually switching songs one at a time, and this is what I like to do. Now, if you're free to play, you only get 1 list. If you are premium, you get 4 extra lists over here. However, to be perfectly honest, I think 1 playlist is enough for most people. The next thing I want to talk about requires you to go to the base game or base PSO2. Remember, in order to do that, you just go to your Ryuker device, go to change block, and you'll be able to come to the base game. For console players, if you didn't download the base game, you'll be prompted to download it. It's really big because there's a lot of content in the base game, but nevertheless, they did add something to the base game in the red light district. You're simply going to come over here, go to the badge and memory exchanger, talk to them, go to exchange rising weapon badges, and at rising weapon badge exchange shop 5, you'll notice they've added a bunch of weapon camos right here. Now, the big one that a lot of people are going to be talking about is going to be Sounds of Rock. The reason why people are losing their minds over this weapon camo specifically is because this weapon camo looks exactly the same as Concert Master. For those who don't know, Concert Master is literally a lightsaber. You can see right here, Sounds of Rock, it is a green lightsaber. However, this green lightsaber camo only applies to Gunblade. It does not apply to any of the other weapons. Even though the Sounds of Rock can be used on all of these different weapons over here, only the Gunblade looks like this with the beam saber, alright? So if you are planning to pick up this camo because you like the lightsaber look, just keep in mind that you have to be playing Slayer in order to use the Gunblade so that you can rock this weapon camo. Now, I know a lot of people are probably asking, Caro, this costs 300 Rising Weapon Badge 5s. I'm a new player, how on earth am I going to get 300? You can see over here, I've got 7,693, and the reason why I have so many is because I'm an old base game player. I played back in the day when there were mission passes, and they gave this out like candy. I'm sure a lot of you probably tried to YouTube how to farm Rising Weapon Badges 5, and you found my video about it, where I was like, oh yeah, you can do it super easily in like under 10 minutes, but unfortunately that event ended, so you won't be able to just use that video as a reference anymore because it doesn't work. Now, the only ways that I have seen so far to farm for Rising Weapon Badges is by running ultra hard content in the base game, ultra hard urgent quest specifically. But the problem with that is it requires you to be level 85 or above, and I know a lot of people don't want to level up that much in the base game, and they just want to get the Sound of Rock weapon camo and peace out and never touch the base game. Now, I'm trying to find another method. I've asked Sega if they can implement it into like the next keyword to just give us like 300 Rising Weapon Badge 5 so people can pick up any of the camos if they want over here, but you know, that is a huge gamble. I don't know if Sega's actually going to listen to my advice or not, because you know, Sega usually doesn't listen to what I have to say, but you never know. Maybe we'll get lucky and maybe they'll put it in the next keyword. I really hope they do, fingers crossed. But if you guys know any other way to get Rising Weapon Badge 5s, please let me know in the comment section below. You know, I know there's like Divide Quest, there's Urgent Quest, and that's pretty much it. I think Extreme Quest also gives it to you, but those all require you to be relatively high level. But nevertheless, just sound off in the comment section below, because I will make a separate video on how to get Rising Weapon Badge 5s, but I'm just afraid that it's going to end up being like, oh yeah, you need to be level 100 and you need to do all this. I don't think a new NGS player would be able to stomach all of that, like having to invest several hundred hours in the base game just to get a weapon camo. So yeah, I really hope Sega listens to me and just gives it into the keyword so that people can pick pick up this weapon camo because it looks freaking amazing. But you know, for those who are curious, this is what Concertmaster looks like. It's like a purple pink looking blade, and yeah, you can see the prices are absurd, absolutely bonkers. You can see right here that there's only 3 on the market at the moment, and they're all going for, I don't even know how much money this is. A lot. 1 billion? Yeah, this is 1 billion Meseta. It's really dumb on how much they're selling it for. So if you do want a lightsaber, please don't buy it from there. Just go over here to the Rising Weapon Badges, Rising Weapon Badge Shop 5, scroll down and Sounds of Rock, and just pick this up because it's essentially the same thing, just a different color. Now, for those who are wondering what it looks like in-game, this is what the Gunslash looks like in-game, or at least in the base game, so it does look a little bit different. But here are a bunch of really cool looking moves. Again, this is in the base game, so things are going to be a little bit different when they come out in NGS, but nevertheless, the lightsaber or the weapon camo of that is going to look just like this, which is freaking amazing, freaking awesome. So I'm pretty happy with this. And the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, they've added HP bars in Ordinal Tower, purple triggers, as well as Cocoons. Now, I thought they added the HP bars in the Geolabs as well. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I did Geolab several times already, and there was no HP bars. However, Ordinal Tower, and as you can see in the B-roll in the purple triggers, you can clearly see that the bosses have HP bars, and now you can actually judge when to use a Photon Blast, when not to use it, blah blah blah. It's really nice. I like this addition of HP bars. It makes it a lot easier to gauge your character's strength to see if you did get stronger or not. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!